So is there anyone that wishes to make public comment regarding any items on the agenda? If not, we will move to communications.
Mr. Mayor, we also have Alderman Tebow in attendance.
Oh, we have Alderman Tebow. Yes, thank you for making that clear. First communication is from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Camo.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the Conway 60-month lease for renewal, replacement of copiers for City Hall and Public Health with Conway Office Xerox Financial in the amount of $46,546.20. Funding will be through Department 122 Information Technology, Fund 54421, Copier Maintenance / General Fund.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Dan McMullen, Information Technology. So this is basically lease renewals that are equipment that we currently have that has come to the end of its current lease, and we are basically renewing the leases for new devices. We've got about 22, maybe 23 of these units throughout the city, and usually a couple of times a year we come before the Finance Committee to renew the leases, those that are expiring, and the machines that we are returning and releasing new ones. So these here are listed for the 6 locations listed: Public Health, HR, Environmental Health, Mayor's Office, Financial Reporting, and Motor Vehicle. And this is for a 60-month lease as stated there. Most of our leases are 48 or 60, depending on how much use they get and how long we keep them.
All right, any questions or comments? Alderman Klee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Just a quick question. I don't know if you know this off the top of your head. Is there much of an increase from the previous years? I know we've been seeing lots of increases, but.
Yeah, so the total monthly payment here, my eyes here, is actually slightly less than what we're paying now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So there's no increase to our current operating budget.
Thank you.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Camo.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the award of the construction contract for the 2023 paving program, Contract 2 to Sunshine Paving Corporation of Hudson, New Hampshire, in the amount of $6,185,248.50. Funding will be through Department 160 Admin, Engineering, and 169 Wastewater Fund 54210 Construction Services Paving Bond / Wastewater Fund.
Mr. Saunders.
Good evening, Mark Saunders, Deputy City Engineer. So this contract before you is the second contract we advertise as a part of our paving program. This contract is going to focus on residential roadways and is scheduled to pave around 15.5 miles. That equates to around 37,000 tons of asphalt, and it will impact 90 roads. 3 bids were received in February, with Sunshine Paving being the low bidder, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions, comments? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Camo.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve Amendment 2 to the engineering services contract for tasks required by the EPA MS4 permit with Hazen & Sawyer PC of Manchester, New Hampshire, in the amount of $123,339. Funding will be through Department 169 Wastewater, Fund 81700 Infrastructure Improvements / Stormwater Abatement.
Good evening, Mark Saunders, Deputy City Engineer. This amendment with Hazen Sawyer is to assist with the compliance with the EPA's MS4 permit. MS4 stands for Municipal Separated Storm Sewer System. The MS4 permit is a federal permit issued by the EPA that allows the city to discharge into waterways. As a part of this permit, the EPA requires extensive documentation, investigation, prioritizing, sampling, and annual reporting. This amendment is to help with this effort, and this amendment will include project management, sampling and screening. We have over 350 outfalls, regulatory assistance, catchment delineation, a chloride study, and annual reporting. And at that time, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, Alderman Camone.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of one 2023 Ford F-550 four-wheel drive dump body truck from MHQ in Marlborough, Mass. for the contract price of $99,392.71. Pricing for this purchase will be from the Plymouth County Commissioner's contract. Funding will be through Department 177, Parks and Recreation, Fund 81500, Vehicles/Surf.
Mr. Conan?
Good evening, everyone. Brian Conant, Superintendent of Parks and Recreation. This is going to become a frontline unit. It's replacing a 2012 F-550. We use these vehicles for going around our trailers that carry our mowers during the season, and they're heavily used in our snow operation, taking care of the 14 schools and 8 inner-city routes. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Alderwoman Clee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Conan, I always hate to put you on the spot, but we've seen increases up from what we put on the surf. Is this one of those items that we saw like an 8% or something increase from when it was on the surf list?
No, we did. I don't believe we saw too much of an increase on this. It wasn't like some of the pieces of equipment that have come forward by you, Alderman Clee.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, Alderman Camone.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve a purchase order for Core and Main to provide 4,520 feet of 6-inch HDPE perforated piping and elbows, tees, and fittings for various ongoing landfill gas recovery, well field maintenance, and expansions in the amount not to exceed $44,000. Funding will be through Department 168 Solid Waste, Fund 81100, Capital Improvements/Bond.
Is Mr. LaFleur here?
He was on.
Yes, I am, Mayor. Thank you, Jeff LaFleur, Superintendent of Solid Waste. As the request states, it's 4,700 feet of perforated pipe. We'd like to start trying to do some of our own landfill gas expansion. I have some qualified operators there at my landfill that can install it. And if the project turns out to be too big and we can't do some of the installation, the companies that we do hire will use our pipe that we have purchased.
All right. Anyone? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, Alderman Camone.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve change order 1 to Permaline of New England in Brockton, Mass. in the amount of $10,000. Funding will be through Department 161, Streets, Fund 61542, Signs/General Fund.
Mr. Ibarra?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. John Ibarra, Superintendent of the Department. So this is a change order to our PO for our sign vendor. This year, we tried to stay under our $25,000 threshold through purchasing guidelines. And we're going to exceed it. We're right there at the threshold. So I'd like to add $10,000 to that so we can continue to replace worn out, vandalized signs, damaged equipment. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on that.
I don't see anything. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, Alderman Camone.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of one HV507 dump truck plow upfit package from Viking Service USA of Williston, Vermont, in the amount of $134,600. Funding will be through Department 161, Streets, Fund 81500/Surf.
John Ibarra, Superintendent of Street Department. Through Viking, that's the upfit kit for the truck that'll be in the next motion. This is the spreader, the dump body, all the stainless accessories that go on the vehicle, a liquid application for brine. It just gears the truck up so we can use it. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Anyone? All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion passes. Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Camo.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of one 2023 International Cab and Chassis from Liberty International of Manchester, New Hampshire, in the amount of $110,850 pursuant to the State of New Hampshire Contract 8002661. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund 81500 SURF.
John A. Beck, Superintendent of Street Department. So this will be replacing truck 125. This will be a frontline unit in both our earthwork and snow fighting operations. And we'll keep old number 125 as a backline unit and maintain it until it's no longer feasible. These truck purchases that we're seeing now, this particular one, we got lucky, it was on the line, and another municipality canceled their purchase. They didn't follow through. But most purchases in the trucks now are 18 to 24 months out from the time we finalize the purchase. So we got lucky to get this replacement, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have with this one.
Alderwoman Clee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Mr. Rivera. Just a quick question. I'm kind of asking the same thing about all the SURF items that I'm grasping. Was this within the same, close to the same price that we had on the SURF list as well? Do you know?
We were under the purchase price on the SURF list.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Camo.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract with Wright Pierce to provide preliminary design plans and specifications for the Phase 1 upgrades project in the amount of $166,515. Funding will be through Department 169 Wastewater, Fund 53107, Architect and Engineering Services / Wastewater Plant Phase 1 upgrades.
Mr. Boucher.
Good evening, Dave Boucher, Wastewater Superintendent. This is for the contract for Wright Pierce Engineering to do the preliminary designs for our Phase 1 upgrades. Back in 2021, Wright Pierce had done a facility plan for us, outlining projects to be done for the next 20 years. They broke it down into 3 phases. Phase 1 is to be done between 2021 and 2024, at least started. We had done some of the projects, some in-house, some contracted out. So this is for the remainder of the projects in Phase 1. Some of those projects include concrete repairs throughout the facility to our concrete tanks, some buildings also. Replacement of 6 large process gates at the facility. Additional catwalk over our chlorine contact tanks. Replacement of ground flow meters. They're hungry. To bring these flow meters above ground so they can be better maintained. Also, there's a pump building that's 3 stories at the wastewater plant, 2 stories on the ground. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in that building, including valve replacement, pump replacement, and HVAC replacement. The last project is rerouting of underground piping at the facility, drain piping, which would help us improve the management of our process. We believe Wright Pierce has a good working knowledge of our facility, having completed some other projects for us. By using them, we think we can get the designs done faster at a lower cost versus hiring a new consultant. So we'd like to go with them. And with this proposal, when the preliminary designs are complete, we'll have a better understanding what the project costs are, as well as a clear path on how to complete these projects. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone? Alderwoman Clee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's somewhat unrelated, but yet related to this. I see that you're talking about the chlorine contact tanks and so on. So I assume that's to help sanitize the wastewater. I recently read something that the state had put out, I think actually about 2 months ago or so, about COVID in the wastewater. Do we test that, and are these upgrades going to help to make sure that we're not putting COVID into the, into the rivers and so on.
Yeah, wastewater facilities receive COVID throughout the city. We do not test. Early on, Dartmouth Hitchcock had some grant money to do testing of the wastewater. We were involved in the initial study, but when they got further grant money, they utilized other wastewater facilities to complete their testing. We don't test for it, but this part of the process is a chlorination process, which would kill viruses before it enters the river. So, but we don't test for it.
Okay.
At the beginning of this.
Thank you very much. That's it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Unfinished business, thank you very much. Unfinished business, we have none. Table in committee, nothing. New business resolutions, R23-086. Alderman Camo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before us is R23-086, authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease with Rambling House LLC. I'd like to make a motion to recommend final passage.
All right, and we have Mr. Cummings on this.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So this evening, asking for your favorable condition of this lease. This is for the Rambling House, which is on Factory Street. The rear of their facility abuts up to Water Street, and we are hopeful to provide them a space for their refuse collection. This is a one-year lease with an option to renew within 90-day termination period. It's $600 a year, and it would be essentially one parking space that they would be using for their refuse collection.
Anyone? Alderman Tebow.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Director Cummings, just curious, how did we come up with the $600? I was just curious about that.
I would have to double check. I don't recall off the top of my head, but I believe this is a standard lease term that we've used with others in the past, and it breaks out to be about $50 a month, which is what we charge.
Yeah, it costs $50 a month to lease a space for a car.
Okay.
So if you multiply that by 12, you get up to 600.
Great, thank you.
Which is our standard rate that we charge.
A bargain, actually. Most
Yes.
cities charge more, a lot more.
That's another conversation, but yes, that we have to have.
Any discussion on this? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. New business ordinances, we have, thank you very much. New business ordinances, we have none. Record of expenditures, Alderman Camo.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion that the Finance Committee has complied with the city charter and ordinances pertaining to the record of expenditures for the period from February 10th, 2023 to February 23rd, 2023.
Discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. General discussion. Any items for general discussion? Public comment. Any member of the public wish to address the Finance Committee? Don't see anyone. Remarks by Alderman. Alderman Tebow.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say another great ward town hall meeting tonight by Mayor Donchis, and Alderman Klee, and Alderman Dowd was there as well to support Alderman Klee and the mayor. Great job. I think, it's important to have these town hall meetings for people to come out and speak, because, you get more than 3 minutes in these town hall meetings. So please keep coming out. Thank you.
Alderman Klee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alderman Tebow stole my thunder, so, but yes, I wanted to thank the residents that came out to the Ward 3 meeting. I thought we had a really good turnout, and I just want to add to something that came out at that meeting, and that's relative to the railroad tracks that are going, not the rail, but the railroad tracks, CSX, and that there have been issues throughout the city, especially in Ward 3. We've had some major issues. If anybody wants to talk to me, I can talk to you offline with it. I don't want to belabor it here, but needless to say, I am in connection with our U.S. delegates, Senator Shaheen's office, as well as Representative Custer's office, and Senator Hassan's office. And we're going to try to do a sit-down to discuss some of the issues that the city has been facing, and especially in my ward. And those at Thurles Landing know that they are the topic of conversation, and they will be included in this meeting. If we do have it, I'm hoping that maybe we can have it here in the auditorium. So, thank you.
Of course. Any other comments by Alderman? Alderwoman Clee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I would like to motion for adjournment.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, and the meeting of the Finance Committee is adjourned at 7:50 p.m.